Most people think government debt is just a number, trillions of dollars. Numbers so big that they feel unreal, too large to imagine, too boring to worry about. But behind those numbers is a story about promises, choices, and people. It affects your future, your taxes, and even your pensions. So today let's answer a simple question. Why are almost every rich country quietly going broke? Think of a country like a household. It earns money from taxes and spends money on hospitals, schools, roads, and pensions. When spending exceeds income, it borrows. At first, borrowing seems harmless. It builds cities, it creates jobs, it fuels growth. If a country is young with many workers and few retirees, this system works surprisingly well. More workers mean more taxes. More taxes mean debt is manageable. But nothing lasts forever. Populations age. Fewer people work, more people retire. Now the government collects less money, but must spend more. Healthcare costs rise, pensions grow, and the gap between income and spending widens. At first, governments try easy solutions, borrow more, delay decisions, promise everything will be fine. Sometimes they let inflation rise. Inflation quietly reduces the value of debt, but it also makes life more expensive. Savings shrink, prices rise, buying power disappears. Other times, governments cut services. Roads decay, hospitals slow down, schools get fewer resources, and slowly, the burden shifts from politicians to citizens. Interest rates change too. Borrowing becomes expensive. Debt that seemed harmless becomes a giant snowball rolling downhill. Every decision has consequences. Raise taxes, citizens complain. Cut services, people suffer. Borrow more, the snowball grows. And while politicians hope for calm, problems quietly accumulate. No sudden crash headlines. Just slow leaks, inflated prices, weaker pensions, less healthcare, fewer public services. Young people feel it first. They pay more, they receive less, and the future seems smaller. Governments face dilemmas. Every option hurts. Every choice has trade-offs. Debt is a promise that someone someday will pay. When too many promises pile up, the country must decide: raise taxes, cut services, or borrow even more. Some countries quietly delay decisions. Others rely on inflation to erase part of the problem. But the truth remains, debt is not free money. It is a story about responsibility, timing, and people. Even if nothing explodes today, the cost accumulates silently. Like water dripping slowly into a cup, eventually it overflows. So, are rich countries broke? Not yet. But they are borrowing against their future. And the real question isn't how much debt, it's who will pay and when. Understanding debt isn't about complex math. It's about people, choices, and consequences. Next time you hear a government debt number, remember, it's not just numbers. It's a story that shapes your life quietly, steadily, and inevitably. Debt may seem abstract, but its impact is very real. It affects jobs, education, healthcare, and retirement security. It affects families, communities, and even the next generation. Every choice governments make today borrows from tomorrow, and every promise has a cost. So the next time you hear politicians talking about free money or easy borrowing, remember, debt is never free. It is a plan for the future, a plan that someone must pay for sooner or later. Rich countries are not bankrupt today, but the quiet truth is they are living on promises. Promises backed by future work, future taxes, and future citizens. Understanding this helps you see the world clearly. It helps you understand why taxes rise, why services shrink, and why money decisions matter. And it reminds us that in economics, every bill eventually comes due. Even if quietly, even if slowly, the consequences are real. So what can we do? Learn, prepare, and understand the choices governments make. Because knowledge is the first step towards security. Debt is not just numbers on a page. It's a story about people, promises, and time. And that story is still being written.